Physics, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. All you're seeing in health, all you're seeing in anything on this planet is simply cause and effect. There's no mystery. Cause and effect. It's only mystery when you're unconscious. Cause and effect. When you have a symptom, ask yourself, how did I cause that? Because you're the one. Fork to mouth? Spoon to mouth? Absolutely. Hand to mouth? Absolutely. And you have to understand that not everything is considered a food for the human body. Certain things that we call food is not really food for us, and not really for any other creature. Remember, the driving factor of creation is cause and effect. You can't have duality without those laws in place. Those laws in place like that has simply been dubbed by Buddhism as karma and Christianity as you reap what you sow. They're just universal laws that exist that everybody needs to know, including ISIS and all these other people. Everybody needs to know that what you do to others coming right back at you, maybe not in this lifetime, but it will. So when you see someone being beheaded, they probably beheaded someone in another lifetime. I mean, this is just how it all works. And when you understand that, it helps to explain why you see what you see, why some people are in wheelchairs and others are not. How could that poor soul be so damned? But what you don't see is the journey that soul's been through in its journey into creation. Creation is massive. And it's the playground of God. Let's go deeper. Let's go to what causes low blood sugar. Remember that, guys. Keep going back to the wall again. Don't think the blood sugar is the problem. It isn't. It's the effect. The blood pressure, it's not the cause, it's the effect. Let's go back. What tissues affect blood sugar and blood pressure? Cells and fluids. Which ones? Which cells are I having problems with? Which fluid am I having problems? Because there's nothing else there. There's not a mysterious hand out there that goes into the adrenal glands and suppresses them. It's all chemistry and physics out here and in here. Realize everything is cause and effect. This is physics. You can relate it to Christianity, you can relate it to Buddhism, you can relate it to most religions out there. Every soul on this planet should learn cause and effect. I don't care where you are, who you are, what nationality you are, because it'll protect you and your future. Because your future is what you create. You ever heard that? Exactly. I mean, we lose that and we bump and uglies with everybody and things, but we don't realize we're creating our own path. With our own desires, our own thoughts, everything's ours. If you don't like the path you're on, change it, because only you can change it. You got a lot of helpers now, that's good, but only you can change this stuff. Everything is curable when you understand what causes everything. And we control what we've created all this. Mm-hmm. You created all the problems in your life. Unconsciously, there's no question. We're all unconscious at any given moment. So we create these things, but it comes from a conditioned mind. Our mind was conditioned to think, oh, Mama cooks good old grits and meatloaf. That sort of conditioning. Mm-hmm. Then your emotions are wrapped into that, and then you'll fight over, you got to have meat. All this stuff is stuff that are conditioned thinking that doesn't have any facts based upon it. What causes all this? Why the genetic weaknesses? If someone says it isn't lifestyle, they're smoking something real bad in the back room. Because chemistry and physics rules everything. And to sit there and think, oh, these diseases just land on you, you're just bad luck and all this, and it's autoimmune. Everybody's got autoimmune problems, do they? I mean, this is all bull crap. I don't care. And you medical doctors, get out of that thinking. Come over here and learn how to regenerate tissue. No ego involved. Let's work with me. We'll regenerate the world. And then your heart will be good. You could have car accidents. But what goes in here, what goes on here, is everything to your experience of health or not. What we have been taught, foods that are healthy, are not even foods. And the way man destroys his food, thinking it's going to keep some E. coli and bacteria crap down, he's lost in space. And that's the trouble with our societies right now. They're just, particularly America, we're way out there right now. The FDA is way too far out there. To be so trapped in this concept of pathogens, that's a bad karma for allopathy. We need to set things straight. So I invite all medical doctors to join me to set things straight. Use nature as your barometer, not some university book by some professor who wrote a book that couldn't cure anything. And realize there are systems you don't know yet, like the new lymphatic system. There are systems in the body you guys haven't discovered yet. Enter the new lymphatic system, and there's more of them. You'll find them. Keep looking. Health is simplistic. We've made such a big deal about it. People are afraid to do raw foods. People are afraid to detoxify sometimes, and it's like, what? You know, the average person rather run to an MD and go that route. It's like, oh my God. So now that they realize there's no remedy down that road, and we're realizing it faster and faster, then they're finding the roads that have the remedy, and they're finally getting to this road that you guys are already on. Health is something simple and natural, and it springs out of your lifestyle. We were never meant, neither any other animal was meant to process or cook your food. When you do that, you lose. When you feed cooked food to animals, they get the same, what you call diseases, as you do. You can't eat cooked food, you kill it. And chemistry comes just the way nature puts it together, and it's electrified because chemistry is electrical, because it comes from electricity. It is energy first, and then it is chemistry second. So this chemistry is electrified when you get a piece of fruit or a piece of vegetable. If I cook that or in some way process that, I just destroyed the electromagnetic energy out of it. To show you this, a piece of broccoli raw has about 9,000 units, let's just call it, or angstroms of electromagnetic energy. Cook it and it pulls it down to about 1,000. Well, everybody's bitching about no energy and fatigue and tired, and yet you cook your food? You just pull your energy out of you, you know, because the law of homeostasis. You cannot enter a field of low energy and expect to be vital from that. That's a law of physics that it'll pull you down even more. If you want energy, you must consume energy. What's your fear holding you back on the grapes? Look at all of us doing the grapes. I don't see any babies dying or anybody dying on grapes. It could be if you go on the grape diet, you'll get well. And if you get well, then that could be a different life for you. Some people don't want to get well because it changes their life. And I can't do anything about that one. You don't live in a cold world of darkness where there's nothing you can do and you were told your glands are shut down forever or this is that, or your glands are sleeping, they'll come back, all the crap and lies that are out there. You guys will gain your power and your strength and your awareness back. And a lot of you are already. I love it. Did you realize, though, medically, everything is uncurable? You have to understand that. Anybody ever stop and think about that? There's nothing they can cure anyway. Nothing. Just because you give some pharmaceutical to suppress the symptom and the symptom disappears, that's not a cure, guys, as you know already. It's a blowback coming. That's what that is. Anytime you suppress, I've always said this little saying, what you suppress today is your nightmare tomorrow. You start to realize healing is not an intellectual jargon. It is not an academic thing. It's learning the simplicity, but it's learning the rhythm and why detoxification. And detoxification is not our concepts, it's nature's concepts. Nature uses that. Earth uses that. And as you see, it's getting detoxifying even more aggressively here lately. I hope we all give everybody hope. People have lost their hope out there. You see that? You know, that's heartbreaking. You know, we're here to have fun, enjoy the rock, and look what we've made of it. Everything's a chore. We got to work ourselves to death. They tax us to death. We've let the egos win. We've let the people that don't know anything rule us. I mean, it's just sick what we've created here. And we need to turn it around. And it's just a lack of spirituality in a mind-dominant world. Because what you put in is your nightmare or your joy. It's that simple. And you might be your joy while you're enjoying the taste of a Barbie, but it'll be your future nightmare. But you have to be real careful and learn as much as you can now, because in this world right now, survival depends upon only one person. One person is in control of survival. And you already know who I'm going to say. It's you. If your focus is health, that's all you need to have. If you get into diseases and, oh, poor me and this and that, and into their idiocy of I can't cure anything, which is because they name these diseases, they don't understand what causes them, so of course you can't cure them. So when you understand health, of course you can, because you're going toward well-being, and that makes the body healthy. And when that's happening, proper hydration, proper base balance in the body, everything is, all the fluids are hydrated, you remove the obstructions to the flow of energy, so blood, nerve, and lymph is moving well, and everything is better, and you're well into well-being. It's not a disease you get and not get. These are all created things by your lifestyle and your genetics. Understand, this is mainly a fluid problem from the kidney and adrenal weaknesses that we have that later become your tumors or the acids that break down the cells themselves. So you're just cleaning the body out. You clean your body out good, you couldn't in this lifetime probably get, say, a cancer or cells being damaged by acids back. Because you can lump RA, you can lump all that together. You can lump it all. You don't have to go, oh, this is an individual disease, this is an individual disease. That's all medical bull crap. This is all systemic acidosis. Whatever factors in the blood or the body's affected, does not matter what factors are affected. It's systemic acidosis. There's nothing else out there to be. And when you treat it that way, when you understand it that way, your remedy's there. When you treat yourself like you have diseases from the AMA's concepts and stuff, you never get well. There's no remedy because they don't exist. So you're treating something that doesn't exist with pharmaceuticals that can make things so much worse. But what's interesting, guys, is how you fix all these different problems. You fix them the same way. Oh, that's got to hurt. That's got to hurt the medical profession. Bad. But you fix them the same way. If you need to go into the liver, you need to go into the lungs, you need to go in the brain, you have specific herbs for that. And so you have specific formulas for that, and that's what you add. But you know that the root cause always is going to be chemistry. And either you ingested it in one way or another, it was injected into you one way or another, or in some way you consumed this chemistry, whether you thought it was food, or whether it was in food, or whether it was injected in you by the medical community, or in some way breathed in through the air. The whole idea to this whole program, this whole level of awareness of how nature deals with things, is to fix things. Not to take herbs or anything like that the rest of your life. It's to fix things. People lost the concept that things can be fixed. Because medical doctors don't fix things. They treat things. That's just their consciousness, their focus. And that's okay if you don't want to take the time and this level of work. But someday you're going to run across a point where it's either your death or you need to start thinking about, what does my body require? Proper nutrition. What really is making us sick? And when you're out there and people tell you of this diet and that diet, oh really? Well, we are a victim of non-raw, of firing our foods, of killing our foods, of coagulating our chemistry in our foods, of processing our foods. And I don't know how in any way, shape, or form man ever thought he could surpass the effects of chemistry and physics on himself. And if you're looking at a store-bought fruit and you think, oh, it's not organic, it's full of pesticides, wash it, clean it, and eat it, because it's better than dead animals, it's better than grains, it's better than beans, it's better than all the other crap. There's only one road. Why are people afraid of that road? Yeah, you got to change your diet. But if your only fun on this earth is your foods, I feel for you. then I would suggest you spend some time alone and start loving yourself, because there's a lot more to do than just friggin' eating. That's just something you do and go on, and you're on to other things. Man has been eating like billy goats, and worse than omnivores. Omnivores do not eat the proteins that man does. Man eats more like carnivores with a dash of herbivore in there. Oh, and this has hurt him bad. This has destroyed the GI tract of man. This has destroyed the kidneys of man. This has created the sewer backup, the lymphatic backup of hell. And look at the types of food man's sucking down. All the white flour products, all the dairy products, all the dead animal products, all the beans and grain products. That's where man's sitting and eating. So take a look around at how he's suffering and realize that's the diet he's sitting on. Those that change their diet, of course, see everything start to clean up, because now they're sitting on the diet that was designed for their body. Humans aren't designed to eat dead animals and their milks. Humans aren't designed to eat grains and beans. Humans are not designed to eat those kind of foods. We're not even designed to eat vegetables, maybe cucumbers and veggie fruits, but take a look at the huge difference between a herbivore design and a frugivore design. You have to understand that health is very simple, and it's directly related to your lifestyle in every single way. First, your eating habits, that's all chemistry and physics. So what you eat is everything. If someone that didn't have any idea of science, all you have to do is compare the human. If you're confused at how the human design is in relationship to his diet, compare the human with the next vertebrae that is very similar. And it's only going to take you one place. So it's not to the pig and hog family. It's just something that the diet is essential, and it is the main cause of man's problems. But then we have our stressors, we have our too much thinking, too much emotions. All those are innervators. All those trap us into levels of energy loss, loneliness and happiness, things like this. And so it's only when you spend time alone and you become conscious that you know who you are. The body, most human bodies are in the defensive mode now, because you're giving fuels that are foreign to it. So now most people have created highly acidic mucus, bodies full of mucus and everything else, and tumors and cysts. And so your body's not used to foods that regenerate it, because very few people eat living foods. And when they do, it's just a little piece here and a little piece, and generally it's on top of all the other stuff they ate. I'll have a little fruit on top of my meat and potatoes and everything else for dessert. I see this all the time. They go to these salad bars or these things and they eat all the stuff, and then they go and have dessert. And then they go and have their melons and stuff on top of all that food. And I'm going, oh my God, I hope you don't, I don't want to be around your house. Gas, bloaty, everything else. We're so far away from the reality of health, and you guys are the closest. Fruits, berries, melons, they digest simply. They're the highest energetic foods and some of the highest nutritional foods. Why would you not eat those? They fit our design perfectly. They fit in the creatures that look just like us similarly, the primate family. We are very close. Why, in terms of physicalness, why would we think of eating something that lions eat, or wild bears or wild wolves eat? Why would we do something like that? I don't know. I get the fact that people don't want to change their diets. I get that. But you got to, or you got to suffer. That's just the two ways about it. You can't have your cake and eat it too, as they say. So you can have some cake once in a while, but you got to see what's going down. Don't burn dirty fuel, and that's what we're doing. We're burning dirty fuel that has residues and a mucus response. So we're getting full of mucus and full of proteins. So you got to clean the body out, just like you have to clean your car out, your house out, or anything else out, and particularly when you've been burning the wrong fuels. Burning the wrong fuels ruins the engine pretty quick, and that's what's happening. A person can go along, oh, my neighbor, he eats anything he wants, trash, 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 and look, I'm trying to eat healthy, I'm fighting my health things, and look at that guy, he's eating everything he wants. Keep watching. Keep watching. An ambulance someday will be there to pick up the neighbor because he had a stroke or heart attack. You can say that the Homo sapien is somewhat adaptive. Well, this is true. We've adapted to these type of diets. Or have we? I mean, take a look, guys, around at the suffering. Most of you guys are suffering at 16 and 20 and 30. I mean, you got to stop sometime and go, wait a minute. How come, man, teenagers, babies are sliding downhill at a rate never seen before? And health is very simplistic, easy to get. Just because people don't want to change their diets, I get that. But if you don't want to change your diet, enjoy your suffering. I get that. You know, and then when you get down to the very last stages of life, then you come run to a place like ours where we're trying desperately to save you. And that's about what we got here. A lot of poor souls that didn't know any better, that couldn't change, didn't have enough pain and suffering to change and things like that. So if you're suffering, you don't have to suffer. But you do have to spend some time changing your lifestyle, changing the way you eat, and cleaning yourself out and rebuilding it. There's only one way to really do that. I mean, there's a lot of different arguments out there in natural health, but really there's only one true way to do this, and that's nature's way. If you understand our species and understand all, there's only one real way to do that, and we all should be on board with that. There is not one thing out there that's the magic elixir. It doesn't exist. We're way out of our dietary realm. And until man understands that, he's not going to change his picture much. Don't cop out and say, I got to have my meat, I got to have this, I got to have that. These are excuses. Excuses not to face yourself. Excuses not to face yourself. For you that have looked all over the world for things, this is your home. If you don't believe that, keep looking, but at least wrap on the robe, strap yourself onto the bull, get all raw, and head on down this road and give it a year's try. Then you can bitch at me and say, well, it didn't work for me or whatever. But you strap it on and you do it properly, and you'll never say that, I'll tell you. Now we're trying to find every other reason for it than what we consume, whether it's what we eat, what we drink, what we breathe, or what we put on our skin. We're trying to find other reasons for our problems. Don't look at what you're eating. Don't look at what you're consuming. Don't look at how hard you're working without rest. Don't look at how stressed out you are. Don't look at a corrupt world of governments and things like this. I mean, all these are factors of your health. There's not if you can, it's when can you. And the longer you wait, the more deterioration happens in your body. You know, your body doesn't just stay the same, notice? Health is assured if you just change your diet and you get your body cleaned up. Health is assured to you. Understand there's a process to get there, and it's not always a happy one. More pain, more skin problems maybe, thinness. But you're taking Hellville to Wellville. So you can expect stuff like that. Remember that? When you tear down an old car and rebuilding it, it ain't going to look too good for a while. You're going to it's going to look worse than you did before because you're going to tear it apart. Then when you get it all put together, painted and sanded and everything good, it's going to be beautiful. And that's where each of you are going. Some of you already got there. You're actually looking at chemistry for the problem. And that's where you have to look. Because you're a victim of your lifestyle, plain and simple, on top of your genetics. Plain and simple. Nothing else out there. And why would you blame other things? And that's part of how the elitists have done that to make the common person feel okay, they can't control these things, but we sure can go to someone that can maybe have a thing. But what's interesting is after you go long enough, you realize there is no cure for diseases because they don't exist. This is all man-made stuff. These are just names for symptoms that are a product of acidosis/inflammation. So there's no magic in life. This is chemistry and physics in action. It's just how you bring in the chemistry in the body, how the chemistry in the body is responding, and how that has a blowback in your fluids to the cells. Each day, remember guys, each day you do this, each week you do this, you're getting better. Maybe that much better, but you're getting better and better and better. And then you'll be amazed that the body can regenerate. But it takes a little time to fix itself. Nothing's like that when you have miles, and we're so steeped in the world of chemistry that we are. And I haven't seen anything. I've seen things that just so awesome. You can't believe the body can re-straighten itself, grow tissue that wasn't there, grow tissue that was there but removed. I mean, it's fascinating. I don't know where the top of it is. Sometimes in a detoxification, it'll take you down to the doorway. It'll take you down to the doorway and turn you around, and suddenly you're back in again. So some of you that you feel like you just can't get this and it's just not working, hang in there.
Megan says here, she says, or she come across the statement, one day of deviating or cheating isn't going to reverse all the good that you've done any more than one day of dieting will make you skinny.
Yeah. You know, it's just a sad thing. People just are in their habits. They don't want to grow. They don't want to learn. They're locked. There's nobody happy. If you want to change this world, then you have to change this world. You can't expect the people that have their consciousness under the ground and that are narcissistic and way out of balance. You can't expect them to do it. We have to keep those people in control, and yet they're keeping us under control. Interesting.